All right, so we are on Unit 6, Lesson 3, which is we're still on log and exponential functions, but now we're going to talk about exponential growth. Okay, so we're going to go straight down to exponential functions. Now, you're going to graph exponential functions. So exponential functions look like this. Y equals abx minus h plus k. So basically what you want to do is you want to figure out first off what the parent graph is, and then the second step is you're going to actually shift it. You're going to shift your graph and you're going to use h and k. Now h is here, so it's on B. So over here our h is actually x, which would just be 1, and then it says plus k. Now if you notice, you don't have a plus or a minus here, so we do not have a k, which means we can't shift this particular graph, but we can graph the parent graph. Now our parent graph always starts at 0, a. So it's going to start at 0, our a is 1/2, and obviously our b would be 3. So we're going to start at 0, 1/2, because we always start at 0a. Then you're going to go to 1, and then you're going to multiply 3 times 1/2. Okay, so you're going to multiply 3, so you're going to multiply a times b. So you're going to go 1, 3 1/2. So we're going to start at 0/2, so 0 1/2, there's my mark. And then we're going to go 1, 3 1/2 is 2, 3, so yeah, so 3 1/2, sorry. 1, 3 1/2. So 1 up 3 1/2, then you're just going to come down and you're going to actually touch all of the points. Okay, so that's actually how you draw your exponential function. So let's go to example 2. Now again, you can't shift example 2 because you need h and k. Now we don't have h or k because our h is on our b and k. So we actually don't even have a b here, and we don't have a k. So we actually have a b, it's negative 3 1/2, but we don't have a k, so we can't graph this. So we start at 0a, and it's 0, 0, because we actually don't have an a, because negative 3/2 to the x is actually our b. So we're going to start at 0, 0, and then remember it's a times b. Now we don't have an a, but we do have a b, which is negative 3 1/2. So we're going to start at 0, 0, and our second point is 1, negative 3 1/2. And a negative 3 1/2 is negative 1 1/2. So we're going to start at 0, 0, and then we're going to go over 1, down 1 1/2, so 1/2. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to draw up here, hitting both points, and that is your exponential function. Now let's look at example 3. We've got y equals 3 times 2x minus 1, negative 4. Now, we do have an h and a k here. So your h is 1, okay, and your k is a negative 4. So we're going to go right 1 and down 4. So once we have our parent graph, we're actually going to shift it. We're going to go right 1 and we're going to go down 4. Okay? So again, we start at 0a. So 0a would be 0, 3. And then we're going to go 1, a times b. So 3 times 2, which is 6. So 1, 6. So let's start. 0, 3. So 0 up 3 and 1 up 6. You're going to connect both points. That's my parent graph. My shift is 1, 4, 1, negative 4. So 1, negative 4. We're going to go right 1 and down 4. We go down because it's negative. If it was positive, we would have gone up. Okay, so we're going to go 1, down 4, and then we start at our other point, over 1, down 4. We connect both of these points, and that is my exponential function with a shift. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to do example 4 on your own. Now we're going to talk about the exponential growth model, and we have to use this formula. So that's why I put formula right here in big bold letters, because you're going to use the formula. So y equals a times 1 plus r to the t. Now, it tells you here, a is your initial amount, r is your fixed percentage rate, and t is your time. Now, something to keep in mind. Let's go over to example number 1. It says In January of 1993, there were about 1.313 million internet hosts. So we have our initial amount. Our initial amount is 1.313. Now, you're going to put million, but you're not going to write millions for the sake of, we're going to shorten it. So we just want 1.313. Now it says during the next 5 years, the number of hosts increased by about 100% per year. So we have our percent. Our percent is 100%. Now anytime you deal with percents, what you're going to do is you're going to write the number out. So you see I wrote 100. You're going to start your decimal here, and you're going to move it over twice. So it's actually going to equal 1.00, okay? Then it says, find the value to express the population after 3 years. So my time is, we want to figure it out in 3 years. So all we're going to do now is plug everything in. So our A is 1.313. You're going to multiply that 1 plus our R is 1, because 1.00, to the cubed, because our T is our time and T is 3. So then we're going to do 1.313 times 2 cubed, which is 8. 1.313 times 8 is actually 10.564, and now we include our million. So our Y is 10.564 million. Let's look at example 2. It says in 2001, the population of a city was about 2 million. So we have A is our initial amount. Our initial amount is 2 million people. Then it says, if the annual rate of increase is about 65%. Now, 65%, remember, you put your decimal here at the end and you move it over twice. So we're going to move it over twice and we get 0.65. Okay? And then our T is how many years? So which value expresses the population 4 years later? So again, our time is 4 years. So 2 times 1 plus 0.65 to the 4th. Now don't go ahead and don't figure that all out. Your answer would just be Y equals 2, and then 1 plus 0.65 is 1.65 to the 4th. Let's look at example 3. It says in 2000, the factory generated about 300 toys per hour. Okay, what's our initial amount? 300 toys, so 300. It says over the next 10 years, the amount of toys that will produce increased 1.3% per year. Now, again, we've got 1.3, but you need to start here, and you're going to move it over twice. Remember that, 1, 2. So we're actually going to have 0.013. Now our time, it says express the amount of toys generated 6 years later. So our time is 6 years, so we're going to put 6 years. Again, if you've got such a high number here, which is 6, don't worry about doing it all, okay? So 300 times 1 plus 0.13 to the 6th is Y equals 300, 1.013 to the 6th, and that is your answer. So now go ahead and do example number 4 on your own. Okay, and that is the end of lesson 3.